See now what we got going on. Okay, now I know you can hear me. All right, my mic on my screen is moving, so I know you can hear me now. Happy Sunday. We are back with another episode of Shadow Work Journaling. What's up? If it is your first time, hey, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Let me grab my glasses really quick. I am so glad to have you here. Um, this is gonna be, I want to say, the fifth or sixth episode of us getting together and looking at a shadow work journal prompt. The book that I am getting these prompts from is called It's called Shadow Work Journal, Illuminating the Dark Side of Your Psyche. It is right there. Boop. That shadow work journal, that top corner over there is the what the book looks like. You can visit misswin.com, or you can go directly to the website of Loner Wolf, lonerwolf.com. And if you visit their shop section, they have this journal that I'm using. This is not endorsed, sponsored, or anything like that from them. However, they were so kind because I did tell them ahead of time that I would be using their book, and just sharing it as a part of my desire to heal and help others heal. And this has been shadow work, y'all, since I started this at the beginning of this month. Oh my God, we're going to get into it, but I want to talk about this book for a second. If you get this book from their website, use the code Dear Shadow, DEAR Shadow, to get 15% off. And so that was from them. I did tell them that I would be doing this, and so they gave me permission and they gave me a nice code for you to use. So that was nice. And I'm writing all of my answers in my special journal that I've designed and created. It's available at misswin.com. Check it out. Boop, get that. It's available for $13.13. And this is what I've been writing all of my answers to the prompts in, is in this journal. I highly recommend that you get something, whether you purchase that journal or whether you get, just something that you can use for yourself and you can keep that private. I recommend that you do that. As I've said the last couple of days, I'm actually not sharing my answers in every one of the videos because, as they warn in the book, it's important that you keep this information private, keep it to yourself. And you'll see why. You'll see why. A lot of these things that uh, are a lot of the prompts that are in this book are probably not really meant to be shared. The responses are really not meant to be shared. It's for you to be aware of and for you to know that is there, right? And so again, it's just like the title says, illuminating the dark side of your psyche, just making you aware that some of these things are here inside of us. And so today we're going to be talking about um culture. And this is actually exercise 41 in the shadow work journal. So if you're keeping up with me, I have been skipping around. I haven't gone in order per se. I will tell you though which ones I have done so far. If you have the book, I've done exercise 1, playing small, exercise 4, emotional suppression, exercise 10, self love and gratitude, and last week we did exercise 18, self confidence. And so today we're doing exercise 41, culture. After I tell you this prompt and I kind of give you some of my answers, I want to talk to you about how this has helped me. And so don't let me forget about that. So one, okay, so the prompt is, what culture, ancient or modern, do you admire the most and why? Think about a group, tribe, clan, lineage, culture, or society you would love to belong to, but one that feels very foreign to you. it goes on to say, I've always secretly wanted to be part of a specific race or group of people. Record your answer. Your response may reveal an important aspect of your golden shadow, aka positive and dormant qualities, gifts, or propensities buried within your unconscious mind. So for me, I have some pictures here this way that you can see that kind of represent, that do not kind of, but they do represent the culture that I admire the most. And so at the top is a photo representation of, it's not a really good one anyways, but it's a photo representation of like ancient Greece, not Greece, oh my god, ancient Egypt. Wow. Ancient Egyptian culture, just black kings and queens. I feel like, if you're a Bible reader, back in that time period, it wasn't all good, and it was a lot of bad, but the good during that time, that I do not see happening a whole lot of now. It's just the black love, the black relationship between the black man and the black woman. They were, in my perspective and opinion, together. They did well. They were kings and queens, and they ran their society and their civilization together, and they were wealthy, and they just did really well. And so I love that. And then parallel to me right here is a photo representation of what I love about the Harlem Renaissance. So is this one. Boom, that one. So is that one a photo representation of the Harlem Renaissance? That is one of my favorite time periods. Look at the way that they're dressed. Look at the way that the men are dressed. Classic, swanky. I love a black man in a suit. Looks so good. Definitely giving me American Gangster vibes. Love it. I love the hats. I love the fur. I love the jacket. I love the dark aesthetics. I love it. I love it. I love it. And what I love, it says, what do you admire the most and why? What I love and admire the most is first the aesthetics. I've always been someone who loves a freaking good aesthetic. I'm someone who loves dark colors, which probably not be able to tell. My shirt doesn't have a whole lot of dark colors, but I love dark colors. I love the way that they look when paired together or next to each other, as you can see in this one. What you can see in this one is, that dark look. Oh, I just love it. It's gorgeous. And it just feels clean and sleek and just that classic timeless. I love it. I love it. And then as far as like the ancient civilization, the black family, the black couples, I mean, as a single mama, a single woman, a single black woman, I love black men. I just do. Although I've dated from different races outside of my race, man, there's nothing more beautiful than the black man to me, right? I have a black father. I have a black stepfather. My child has a black daddy. And so definitely, however, in my experience, I have not really experienced being a child, I guess, who really seen that as a constant, right? I didn't really witness, and this is no stab or jab at any of my parents, but I didn't really witness that black love. And so I have this part of me that has an imagination, but I do have black male friends, and just the love that I get from them, just, man, I think it's that's what it is. I think that's what I was trying to say, or what I'm saying is I admire this the most because of how I've romanticized it in my mind, how I've made sense of each of these things in my mind. It just looks good. It to me it feels good when I'm watching movies of ancient civilization in Egypt with black kings and queens. It feels very powerful. It feels very wealthy. It feels very community centered. It feels very taking care of the family, which all of these things are things that I admire and strive for and would like to have in my own life. And so for me, that's why I admire and that's why I love these different cultures, these different time periods. During the Harlem Renaissance, there was a lot of civil rights movements going on. To me, I felt like it was a great time, although you can't take the good without the bad. And so, but I want to focus on the good here. Although there was a lot going on during like civil rights movements, it brought the black community together before it tore us apart. And so, as a black woman, I desire to see unity in the black community before I die. And watching this Netflix series, I can't remember what it was, but one of the main characters, his name was Bumpy Johnson. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you know the movie that I'm referring to, please leave it in the comments. But man, it was so good. Outside of the gangster stuff, outside of the cocaine and whatever they were doing, outside of the heroin, outside of those things, the family unit, the I've got your back, I need you to have mine, the, you know, just how they move together, the community, those things are so beautiful. And in my quiet time when I get off of here, I am going to think about, because it says your response may reveal an important aspect of your golden shadow, aka positive or dormant qualities, gifts, or propensities buried within your subconscious mind. What positive or dormant qualities could be buried in my unconscious mind, that I need to explore, or I need to be made aware of. And so that's something that I'm going to work on privately in my quiet time later today. But that was a prompt. I hope that served you. I hope that you're also working on this with me. Because man, let me tell you, right? Like, earlier this week, I started writing again. My goal, my desire, when I graduated high school, I've been out of high school for at least a decade. Okay, don't let this young face fool you, baby. Okay, don't do it. But I've been out of high school for 10 years, and my goal, one of the things that we did when we graduated high school was we wrote down some things. We shared our fears and we shared our desires for what we wanted out of our life after high school. And one of the things that I wrote down was to be a best-selling author, and I shared this with somebody, and they mentioned it to me recently. Okay, and I thought, yeah, that's true. I am working on growing a book publishing company. And there, man, it's tough. It is really tough. If you've ever tried to grow a business, it's hard enough. But if you try to grow a book publishing company without a whole lot of help, I'm a researcher and stuff like that. And so I've been able to kind of teach myself and learn by trial and error, but it's very difficult. And so I was feeling unsatisfied with it. And so I was just thinking, like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to make this more enjoyable for me? And it was brought to my attention that what I was doing is I was focusing my energy and putting expectations on the people that I was serving that I wasn't really holding myself to. I had a high standard for them, but I didn't have a high standard for myself, right? Isn't that just like us humans? Or I'm only talking about myself. That's just me. I know that's not you. I know you don't have high standards for anybody else but yourself. But I was the opposite. I had high standards for everybody else but myself. And that was a hard truth. But accepting that truth helped me see that I needed to get back to doing what I love. And that's book writing. That's book writing. That's speaking. That's talking. That's using my voice and talking more and showing up more and just doing more of the things that I love. And in doing that, I can still also grow my business. But when I put myself first and I do the things that I enjoy first, such as book writing, and helping others heal through writing, then everything else will work out for me. And so I started writing my book again this week, and I feel so good. I feel so good. And not only that, I want to say a huge part of it was a result of this shadow work journaling that we've been on together. And that's so beautiful. One of the first prompts that we did was emotional suppression. As a survivor of trauma, man, there was a lot of emotional suppression. And what I've realized in doing this and working through this journal is myself, as a survivor of trauma, I have suppressed a lot of stories, right? That's why I said, you know what, let me get on here, share the prompt. Every now and then I might share my response, but sometimes no, because there are stories along with those suppressed emotions. There were suppressed stories that, because they didn't feel good, I just didn't want to tell. Well, this book that I'm writing is, let's uncover those stories, but let's tell them through the lens of a fiction character. Let's tell them in a way that's entertaining. Let's tell them in a way that the reader can learn something and can also grow. And baby, it's been so sweet to be back in this arena. And I feel good. And I think that this is exactly what I needed in order to continue to grow my business, to grow my book publishing company. And so there we are. There we are. And so I feel good. And so I don't know. Let me know if this has been helpful for you. Have you seen any changes? Have you found any enlightenment in your own life from doing these shadow work journal prompts these last couple of weeks? If you're just getting started, welcome. And I hope that this serves you, and I hope that you see amazing results in your life. I hope that it sets you free in some way by being aware of some things that we have kept in the dark for whatever reason. And so that's all I have for you today. I'm heading out. I'm going to go take my daughter to get some ice cream. It's Sunday fun day. And so we are kicking back. After I get some ice cream, I'm going to come back and answer the rest of this prompt, write it down in my journal. And so I will see you again here on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. All right. I will see you then. Have a good day. Bye.